What's going on, everybody? Ricky Robinson with 2xR Media back again with another video. In this video, I wanted to bring to you another microphone from the fine company over at FiFine. This is the FiFine Amplitank Profile 3. And why this microphone stands out to me and why this microphone should stand out to you is all of the functionality built into this microphone without the need of an application. Let's start off with all the functionality that this microphone brings. First off, this is a USB-C condenser microphone, meaning no XLR output from this microphone, USB-C only. Since I mentioned that, let me say what this microphone comes with in the box. It comes with a mic stand. As you guys can see right there, that's the mic stand that it comes with. I'm holding it this way. Sorry that I'm holding it this way, but the microphone stand and the boom arm that I usually use requires an adapter for this microphone, and the adapter that I usually use is stuck on another mic stand. So my bad. Sorry about that. Sorry, I'm holding it like one of those YouTubers. And but you know, you guys can see how much handling noise this microphone will probably bring. If you did get this microphone and you did want to hold it like this, I wouldn't hold it like this. I would get a boom arm for it for sure, and an adapter. Now, if your boom arm does have a longer thread on it, it will work perfectly fine with this microphone. Unfortunately, the boom arm that I use is not that long as far as the threading is, and it does not fit without an adapter on this microphone. So unfortunately, you will need an adapter for this microphone. This microphone is a great USB-C condenser microphone. I'm going to turn around the microphone. What condenser means, you want to talk directly into the front of the capsule, because it does reject a lot of the sound around the side and the back of this microphone. So now I'm going to turn it around. So now I am talking to the side of the microphone. As you guys can see, there's a huge difference in the audio. And now I am talking to the back of the microphone. You are picking up a lot of the bouncing around in this room, and that's what the back of the microphone sounds like. Of course, the same thing with this side. I'm coming right back around the front. So you want to talk directly into the front where the light is for the mute button. So this is the mute button right here. So I'll mute myself. And now I am unmuted, so it's not very clicky, but it does feel satisfying to press. It does feel pretty, pretty sturdy. The microphone itself, it is an all metal build, but there is some plastic in like the stand and like the knobs, and it does come with this yoke mount. So you do get a nice little mount with it, and it does look really good on my mic stand. Unfortunately, I can't show you that because of the threading on my boom arm. So it is what it is. That's my bad, not the company's bad. But if you do have nice threading on your actual boom arm or an adapter, this microphone can go onto just about any boom arm or any mic stand. The mic stand that it comes with is very low. Is very low profile. I mean, I could put it on the desk, but it is a little too far from my mouth, and I'll be picking up a lot more of my room tone, and I really don't want to do that. So now let's get to this functionality that I was talking about. There is a mix and minus knob on the front that's facing you that allows you to hear more of the computer audio versus your mic audio. So if you're playing music, or if you're playing playing a game while streaming, then you can hear more of that game, or you can hear more of your voice. So that is one of the functionalities that is built into this microphone. Then of course you have the knobs on the back. So you have your microphone knob on the top and your headphone volume knob on the bottom. So these adjust the gain of your headphone and the gain of your microphone volume. Saying that, there is a 3.5 millimeter port on the bottom of the microphone that allows for low latency to no latency free monitoring. I can speak very naturally, which means the latency is very, very low to no latency. So it is a really good microphone. On the bottom also, of course, is you got your USB-C cable, USB-C port, and you have your toggle. The toggle on the bottom is a flat profile and a low cut filter profile. So right now you're listening to me on the flat profile, and now you're listening to me on the low cut profile. As you guys can see, as you guys can hear, it cuts down a lot of the bass. Sorry about my chair. you know, it's a cheap chair. And sorry about my chair. It is a very cheap chair. So you're going to hear some of that noise from the chair from me moving around. I'm trying not to move too much so you don't hear it, because it is very, very annoying. And I'm sorry about that. But you can see that it does cut a lot of the low end out of this microphone, but it does sound okay in this profile to me. It doesn't sound too bad. You guys can be the judge of that. I'm just saying how I feel about it. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy it, but I am saying that it doesn't sound too bad in my opinion. It is a great budget microphone, very inexpensive, but it does give you a lot of functionality and a lot of good uses. Right now, I think this could be a great microphone for voiceovers. I feel like it can be very good for podcasting, for streaming. It does give you some functionality, like I said, in this microphone that allows you to not need to tinker around in software on any kind of application. But what I will say is I wish that FiFine would come up with some DSP in their microphones, because that would be nice to be able to tweak this microphone to the way you want it to sound in order to connect it to another device and be able to use that sound without having to tinker with it again. It locks in that sound, and it allows you to give you just a little bit more flexibility over EQing your microphone. So I think that would be really, really nice. Of course, this allows us to pay a little bit less for the device, because it does not have to go through more research and development in order to make an application work with it. I understand that part. It makes a lot of sense, but at the same time, an application would be nice, just to give you just a little bit more tinkering and a little bit more flexibility, a little bit more control over the EQ on your microphone. Again, this is a great microphone. I think it sounds really good. It works really good. It works really easily. You just plug it into your device. Your device recognizes it as an audio source, and it just works. It does not need to download any drivers or do anything like that. It just works right out of the box. You plug it into your device and it works. Of course, you can tweak. Again, this is the low cut filter on, and this is my radio voice. So this is the low cut filter off, and this is a much, much, much more full sounding microphone now that the low cut filter is off. This video was not sponsored by them, but they did send the microphone out for me to test, and I do appreciate that very, very much. They are one of the bigger supporters of this channel, and I appreciate that very, very much, giving me the opportunity to test out their microphones and create content for my audience. I really, really do like testing out new devices. I do enjoy this microphone very, very much. That is not something they told me to say. I'm saying it because it is really, really easy to use. I've used it in several different scenarios, just testing it out to see how it would work. I tested it in my living room. I tested it over here on my couch behind me. And yeah, so it is a really, really good microphone, and it really, really sounds really nice. I will have a link down in the description down below, letting you guys know where you can pick it up. And of course, there's usually a deal on all of FiFine's products. There's a sale. I'm not sure when. It's never on sale. It seems like it's always on sale. I think it is a really good company that is really, really trying to make a lot of different products for audio needs. And they do, for me, do really, really well, especially against something like the Rode PodMic. Let me do one thing real quick for you guys. Sorry, I didn't do this before, but I'll do some room noise. So this is with the low cut filter off. And this is with the low cut filter on. Now, you may be hearing my fan. I have my fan on. The computer is going. I don't think the computer is making any noise. It is M4. It is a Mac Mini. And my light, I know my light is making some noise. So what do you think about this microphone? Do you think it sounds good? Do you think it's just another microphone? Do you think you can use it if you have a kid that is starting to stream, or if they're doing classes online and you want them to sound a little bit more better? You want to sound a little bit more professional. They're doing Zoom calls. You have an older kid that is doing Zoom calls every day or doing Zoom meetings, and you want them to sound a little bit better. Now, for cameras, there's a lot of suggestions for cameras. that I could make, but right now I'm just talking about audio. And I think this audio sounds really good, and it does work really, really well with just about any computer that you need it to work with. Just plug it in and you select it as a audio input device and you're good to go. So my name is Ricky Robinson with 2XR Media. Thank you guys for clicking on the video. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate every single one of you. Have a good one. Peace.